Oh, hey. Good afternoon. Good to see y'all. Stuff. What y'all doing today? Y'all out enjoying y'all Friday, living your passion, or getting off for work, living your best life. Hope you go out, have a drink. You smoke, make it a little smoky. You know, hope you go out to do something else that you would like to do today. You know what I'm saying? Or something you would like to do this afternoon, or something like that, or anything that's comfortable for you. So I was trying to get back to that story I was telling you about. Okay, so here goes another part. This is part 2 for me. So where I left off was me trying to get into the door. So when I tried to get into the door, first you knock on the door. I knocked a couple of times, yell my father's name, like, Dad, are you there? Like, Dad, are you there? Knock, knock, Dad, you there? So about the third or fourth time, I kind of hear him say, yeah. I go, yeah, Dad, are you there? And he goes, yeah, I'm here. You kind of hear him say, I'm here. It sounds a little distant, of course. And then by the time he gets up to the door, like I said before, he was holding onto a cane, barely holding his own weight, trying to lean on the wall to try to look normal, to try to look like there was nothing wrong. And I also smelled a smell. Now, whenever I went to my father's house in the past, I've never smelled nothing, because he kept his house clean, up to date. He's an army man, so everything is very neat, nicely kept, and very tight, right? So, I smelled the smell when I was at the door, and I was trying to talk to my father, and he's leaning on the wall, kind of trying to hold the door, hold up the cane, and trying to hold himself at the same time. I go, you gonna let me in? You gonna let me in? Are you okay? I'm looking at him like, okay, you alive. All right, you alive. I'm happy to see you. You gonna let me in? And he's like, yeah. And then he's looking to the side, which is this side from his house. So my brother's room was in the back. His room is this way, which is the living room, connected to the kitchen, back in this direction. So it's like a little 1-bedroom. He gave my brother the room. So, he's looking this side, looking like, and giving me this weird look like, you gonna let me in? Usually he opens the door, he lets me in. Like, when my brother's there, he'll tell him to step back, which is not the first time I've ever heard him just tell him to step back. So my brother starts telling him, close the door. Don't let her in. Close the door. I'm like, what? You gonna let me in? Because that's what's going on in my head. I'm trying to just get in the door and see what's going on, right? So he finds somebody to stop. He tells my brother to stop. And he looks to the side and said, no, stop it. You go back. You go back in your room. Go back. Stop. So I think my brother was trying to close the door, or trying to be weird as he is. So long story short, my brother starts, I'm looking at my brother, I'm looking at my father. He finally lets me in the door, because I'm kind of shimmy my way in just a little bit. Kind of like, like, let me in. Like, you gonna let me in this thing? Because you looking very crazy right now, and I gotta see what the hell is going on with my fucking father. So, get in the door, and I'm looking around, I smell of piss. And I'm like, why does it smell like that? You don't smell that? He goes, what? And I go, you don't smell that? It smells like piss. He goes, I got a cat. I go, you got a cat? Something, oh shit, they really got a cat. It smells like piss in here. They must have a cat. So, I get a little excited, like, you got a cat? Let me see the cat, He's like, I guess it was like a joke, like a little dry humor. And he was trying to, just trying to shoo my brother off a little bit and welcome me, tell me to follow him to the kitchen. So he's walking to the cane very slowly. He looks like he's in a hell of a lot of pain. And my brother's in the background. He's just talking shit. He's just talking hecka shit, like crazy shit. Like trying to call me all out my names, talking about my weight, calling me all types of B's, trying to get me to react to him, right? And I wouldn't give him no reaction. No reaction. I'm trying to ask my father what's going on. Are you okay? Because, I'm like, you don't look okay. Are you all right? And I'm asking him questions. And he's walking he's walking so slow, he can't even get to the kitchen properly. And my brother's still talking shit. Like he's trying to tell him to relax, calm down, go back in your room, just relax. Don't bother her, leave her alone. So my brother keeps talking his stuff. So I'm walking with my father, so I grab my phone and I walk to the kitchen and see if, if anybody was in there or whatever. And I put the phone on record. I said, you know what? I'm going to record you. You want to keep talking your shit? I'm going to record you. Keep talking. I'm recording you now. I should have never said nothing. I should have let him continue to talk. In the moment I let him know, like, it's on. You want to continue to talk shit about me? The phone is recording you. Keep talking. So then he says one more thing, and he kind of slithers his way back into his room, and he gets on the phone and he goes, she's here. And he's talking to someone on the phone. And in that time span, my father gets to the kitchen. He's sitting down, trying to see what's going on with him. He reaches in his refrigerator. And what I recognized the last time I was at his house in April, my father had a picture of my aunt up there. Since she passed away, he had a picture on his refrigerator, and it wasn't there no more. And that threw me off, because usually when he puts stuff places, it stays there. So I was expecting to see that picture, and I was like, that's different. I noted it and didn't say nothing. So my brother continues to talk his shit. I pick up the phone to help my father fix his phone. So I was like, I couldn't get in contact with you. That's why I'm here. This, that, and the other. So you need help with your phone? He says yes. So I take up his phone and try to turn it on. And he wouldn't. He couldn't get in his phone. And I couldn't get in his phone. So I read the phone, of course, and it said problem with password. So I'm thinking it's just a password problem. So, get on my phone. My brother's talking shit. My brother starts recording me, trying to make fun of me, calling me all out my name, saying things like, oh, you're nothing, you'll never be nothing, you can't do nothing, you ain't nobody, da-da-da, stuff like that. You ain't nothing, you are this, you are that. Like a girl on his period. So I'm ignoring him. Now, usually, like any brother and sister, you will go back and forth. That's natural. You'll be like, what you said to me? And then, it'll be word for word. But I was so concentrated on our father that I didn't have the energy to feed him. So I'm trying to talk on the phone. I'm trying to get the representative up. I'm trying to help my father. My brother starts recording me. So my father takes his hand and tells me to turn around. So he turns me around facing him. So I'm not paying my brother no mind. So I got my back to my brother. I didn't want my back to him. But I listened to what my father was saying. And he was like, just look at me. And he starts. Then my brother, I guess he kind of stops recording. He gets back on his phone. He goes back in his room. And he starts, talking about on the phone about whatever. I wasn't paying him no mind. Trying to help my father. Okay, so the phone is on. We finally call in the people. My father grabs, in his refrigerator. He asked me, do I want something? I go, no, I don't want nothing, Daddy. And he grabs in the refrigerator. In his freezer, he grabs a piece of chicken, a couple of pieces, little chicken nugget things. And like 2 pieces of fries or 3 pieces of fries. It's like very small amounts, right? And I'm like, okay. And of course, I'm giving it in my head. I'm taking notes. So I gave it a good 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. I had knock at the door. I'm still with my father, trying to deal with that, but paying attention to the door. So I hear the police thing, the radio, when the radio makes sound. So when they come in, they start talking to him, my brother, and my brother starts telling a whole bunch of lies. And my father's like, who's that? And I go look and go, that's the cops. They call the cops. So instead of me freaking out and me acting up, because I know I wasn't doing anything wrong. When the cop came, I was like, oh, hey, how are you? Thank you for coming, because now you can help me. So I reversed it on him. And so with the lady cop, there was a man cop. The lady cop kind of surveyed the scene, heard what my brother was saying. She came to see me with my father. Literally, she hears the voice of the operator on the other side talking. So She goes, she's actually helping your brother. What's the problem, sir? And my brother starts making up lies, saying I was trying to hurt him, saying I came in, bothering him, saying I came in there, trying to make it seem like I was threatening him. He was even lying and saying I was calling him. I haven't had his phone number since before 2020. Yeah. So he was lying and saying I was calling him, I was harassing him, just lying. So the cop is there. She tries to talk to both of us. She tries to make him understand. After she speaks to my father, she goes, so, sir, you want your daughter here? My father goes, yeah, I want my daughter here. So he goes, since it's his house, you're on the lease. My brother had to tell her that he was on the lease. You're on the lease and whatnot, but this is his house. And he could be here. Her daughter could be here. Your father, he wants his daughter here too. You can't tell me to go. He couldn't tell me to go because the cops were saying my father wanted me there too. So that happened. The cop started to get into it with my brother because my brother's mentally, he's crazy, So he tries to buck up at the cop. And my father's kind of protecting my brother. Was like, you can't. He took the cop card and stuff and whatnot. But I don't know. He just took it. He asked for the card. But the lady basically, if he would have kept doing what he was doing, he probably would have got arrested. So all that happens. The cop kind of surveys it. She sees what is going on. She reads the room basically. So it took like maybe they was there for like maybe 2.5 hours. They left. I got on the phone with my brother. I let my other brother talk to my father. I spoke to my father for a couple of minutes more. My father said, look, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. So I go, okay. So I thought he was going to get up and walk from the kitchen to his bed, which is in the living room right there, alone, right? Usually he don't need nobody help, right? So he gets up, kind of stumbles a little bit. He had problems actually lifting himself up off the little chair thing he was sitting on. So I go, okay, Dad, can I help you? You gonna let me help you? And he was like, nah, only my brother can help him, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, he's not the only one that can help you, because I had to explain to him my mother was in the hospital. I had to also help her, and it's not a problem. You can lean on me, kind of stuff. So after, I guess, we saying it more than once. And before I go that far, it's a step that happened before that. When my brother hung up the phone, my father was letting me know that my brother that lived with him would leave the house, take his card, and just leave him there by himself. Didn't help him, didn't attend to him, didn't make sure he was okay. He would just take his card and leave him and go to the shopping center up, that was close to their house or whatever, and just spend his money. My father had to whisper that. Like, I'm talking to you, you probably won't hear me, but he had to whisper it. I was like, what, Daddy? He was like, shh. He had to whisper it to me. In his own fucking house. So that was a part, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. There's nothing I could do about it. At the time, I thought I had more time to get that dealt with. So he was trying to move from the little chair to his bed. So I had to convince him, like I was just saying, I had to convince him that I could assist him. So what I did was I helped him. I said, come on, lean on me. Eventually, he kind of gave in. He kind of leaned on me, and he seen that he could lean on me. So he stood up. So he took like 2 or 3 steps. He waited, took it 2 or 3 steps more, and there's a couple of feet from the bed, not a couple of feet, like 2 or 3 feet, not that much, a couple of inches from the bed, he had to throw himself on the bed for him to lay down. Now, you know how, like, normally you would get up, you adjust your bed, move your blankets or your sheets or whatever, fix your pillows, and he had to throw his whole body weight, and was like, oh, like he was in so much pain to get adjusted to lay down. So I waited till he got as comfortable as he could be. He laid down. I told him I loved him. He said he loved me back. And when I closed the door, that bastard of a brother I got slammed the door. right? So I get outside and I call back my other brother. And even though I left out the building, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to call the ambulance. And I wish I would have followed my instincts. When the cops was there, I wish I would have called the ambulance right then and there. I had that bad feeling, but you always hope like it's not as bad as you think it is. You think you're just bugging, you're just tripping. I'll be back with more.